could tell me I'm not what my way and go, yeah. I'm in my zone, yeah, through this microphone. The way they looking at me like they seen a UFO.
Hey, yo, fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging, have my hand.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. "22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And off we go on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Penix. Sets up the screen to Robinson. Finding space at the 40. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. The Falcons at 1-2 through the first 3 weeks of the season, and they got off to the tough 0-2 start, but come off a very important first win of the season last time out.
And it's tough when you find yourself at an early season crossroads, but that's exactly where they were. At 0-2, they were thinking if we fall to 0-3, things can spin out of control. But now at 1-2, they shouldn't feel the need to press out there. They're now back in a good spot. Find a way to win some games and keep moving forward.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. You look at this Browns defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap, because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They'll throw with Penix. Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. Down the sideline he goes. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Robinson up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Penix. Looking deep here for Mooney. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down. You talk about this Falcon defense. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. You know, no-fly zones and things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. He's able to call his own number for 8 that time, but it leaves him with a third down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 14-yard line. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Yeah, the Browns are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Dobbins is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it, rolling to his right. Boy, a dangerous throw there. Fortunate for him, it'll wind up incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Motion man is Shakir. Murray now, 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Clark Phillips has got it. And the Falcons will take over here just shy of the 30. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
This is 2nd and 8. And looking to throw, Penix. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To the air, Penix. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here comes 3rd down and 7. Moore, the man in motion. Murray now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Jet sweep. Here's London. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's 2nd and 7. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Dobbins running out of the gun. Room here to run. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. J.K. Dobbins with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down.
You want to talk about the proverbial deer in the headlights? That's exactly what he was when he got the ball. Went to hit a lane and get upfield, and all he saw? Extra defenders bearing down on him. Perfect time to dial up the blitz. An excellent call.
The Falcons on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Now back to throw. And complete to Drake London. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the 1st.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 9 now. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 98 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here comes Dobbins on the toss right. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And the Browns are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
They'll run with Dobbins, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on second and goal? Here's Murray. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? From the gun, Murray. And he'll go right back to Moore. Complete again.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's 2nd and 8. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. J.K. Dobbins. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now a 2nd and 10. On the draw, Robinson. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. He'll drop to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll complete this one to Watson. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Shotgun now for Murray. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Point after try forthcoming. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
On third down, Robinson. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. A give up the middle to Dobbins.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Murray. Flush to his right. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
Play action. Now it's Murray. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Justin Jefferson with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Browns have taken a 5-touchdown lead. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
On third down, Penix from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll throw with Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson. Oh, what a move. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now Penix out to his left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The false start backs him up 5. First and 15.
And here's motion again, and that's going to be 2 in a row. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Looking to throw, Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. Hook up of 15 yards there. And that will bring up second down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And they will not have time to get another play in here.
Okay. This is like doing.
Second and 10. They'll go play action here with Penix.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 16.
To the air, Penix.
Under pressure, they got him again. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now Austin. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
123 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Pushes him over. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Another run here with Dobbins. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And they take a knee.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their...
For the antidote, there's a brick still a fan of you. Hey, 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 hey. Your sensation, my fixation. Hey, hey, hey. Your sensation is my fixation.
Say don't play with me, but I still gamble with it. We getting right before we take off on the landing strip. Know that you like all the attention that a fan gives. Say that you like me, but you way too young for marriage. I've been here before, I know exactly how it goes. Yeah,